Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's Reddit stories are from Am I the A-Hole? Story 1 is by Pastel Clouds 808. Am I the a-hole for telling one of my daughter's classmates' moms to F off about what I put in my daughter's lunch? No names in this story are real. For some context before the story, I, 38 female, cook Asian foods regularly for dinner, and for my daughter, Lily, who's 7, lunches at school. This is because my family enjoys these foods. I like to cook these foods, and my mom cooked a bunch of these foods before growing up since she's half Japanese. Oftentimes, I'll either give my daughter some leftovers from last night's dinner, plus fruit veggie and a snack, or I'll make her a quick little bento box or some other thing really quickly. So, after school one day, my daughter wanted to play on the playground for a bit before we went home. I said she could play for a few minutes, and she ran off to play. I was waiting next to this other parent who we'll call Deborah while I was waiting. Deborah came up to me. Deborah, are you Lily's mother? Me. Oh, yeah, I am. Why? Deborah. Well, your daughter's lunches have been bothering my son, and I would like to ask you to pack something else. Me. What? How are they bothering him? She then proceeded to start talking about how her son was complaining about my daughter's lunches smelling terrible and that he thought it was disgusting. She also said her son didn't eat most of his lunch because he was so grossed out. Me. Okay. I understand your son doesn't like the smell, but can't he just sit somewhere else? Deborah. Are you kidding me? My son shouldn't have to put up with whatever crap you make your daughter bring to this school. It's disgusting. And she started making more vaguely racist complaints, but I was fed up at this point. Me. Listen, I understand your son may not like my daughter's food, but he can very easily just not sit next to her. I'm not changing what's in my daughter's lunches because you and your kid don't want to exist near Asian food. F off. She angrily stomped off with her kid then, and my daughter finished playing soon after, so we went home. I talked to my husband about it, and he said maybe I shouldn't have told her to F off to avoid her bothering us in the future. Am I the a-hole? I don't agree with your husband on this. Some people, if you tell them to F off, they feel antagonized and they might come back at you another day. You telling her to F off may also show that you're not somebody to be messed with. And she may not mess with you again in the future. So, I get it, your husband wants to keep the peace, but this person deserved that. It seems like everybody in the comment section is very proud of you for saying that too. Down in this person's username. Down in the comments by Fartin Scorsese. F off was the nicest thing you could have said to her, not the a-hole. Underneath that by Yarny Carly. Definitely this, but I would also make a point of emailing the school or speaking to the teacher to request the boy not be put anywhere near her daughter because of his mother's racist request. And finally, underneath that, by Suspicious Cupcake 23, Tattletale rules. Get there first and be the most reasonable. It's amazing how much this changes things. When you're young and in school, they say, don't be a tattletale, don't be a snitch. But when you're older and there's somebody who's actually a problem, like some racist person, absolutely be a tattletale. Inform any authority who could be involved in this sort of thing. Nip it in the bud. Our next story is by Throwaway New Ring. Am I the a-hole for forcing my brother to buy me a new engagement ring? I'm a 26 male proposing to my girlfriend who's 24 on our 4th anniversary, September 30th. I've been planning this for about a month and I picked the ring a couple weeks ago. The one I got was on sale, so I managed to get it at a surprisingly low price. Last weekend I told my brother, who's 33, about my plans and showed him the ring. He informed me that he was proposing to his girlfriend, 29 female, as well. The next day, my brother came to my apartment while my girlfriend was out. He asked me if he could borrow my ring to propose to his girlfriend. I thought he was joking at first, but no, his plan was to propose to his girlfriend, explain that he was using my ring as a placeholder, and then take her to pick her own ring later. His reasoning was that he didn't want to spend too much money right away because she didn't say yes. I've never heard of placeholder rings, so I said no, and the conversation moved on. On Tuesday, he proposed to his girlfriend with my ring. He'd taken it before leaving my apartment. I got distracted at work and didn't notice it was gone until his fiancée sent a picture of herself wearing the ring to our family group chat. I called him to ask him about the ring, and he immediately apologized and said he'd keep his promise and give it back to me. But at this point, my girlfriend had seen it, and his fiancée had posted about it on social media, so it was pointless for me to propose using the same ring. We fought about it, and he confessed that while he told his fiancée the ring was a placeholder, he didn't tell her where he'd gotten it from. I felt more angry and betrayed about him going behind my back and taking the ring after I said no than the fact that he stole it. I also know his fiancée enough to know she wouldn't like to learn her engagement ring had been stolen from me, so I told my brother I'd tell her the truth if he didn't buy me a new engagement ring. He fought against it for a few hours, but finally gave up and agreed. We went to a different jewelry store yesterday, and I picked a new ring. I managed to stay in the price range, but the new one was still $100 more expensive. My brother bought the ring, but is still accusing me of being inconsiderate and childish. He is insistent he would have given me the ring back had I given him the opportunity, and I didn't need to threaten him to spend so much money on me. He's now refusing to talk to me. I don't know how to feel about this anymore. I'd usually talk to my brother about these things, and it's surreal that he's the one I'm fighting. I can't tell my fiancé, and many of our friends overlap. The only person who knows about this is our mom, who's divided. She thinks what my brother did was wrong and I'm right to be pissed at him, but I didn't have to stoop as low as I did by threatening his relationship. Am I the a-hole? Are you kidding me? You absolutely had to take whatever steps you could to prevent your special moment from being ruined by him. He ruined it. He ruined it, basically. And I don't understand why he did this. It's almost like he was jealous that you were going to propose and he really, really liked that one ring. He bought you another one that cost more. Why didn't he just go buy his own? And then he says you're being childish? Your brother sounds like a trash hole, excuse me, but he really does. Down in the comments by Pokey Ninja. Not the a-hole. What the F is wrong with him? He stole your ring. Does he have some illness or impairment that could excuse this, or is he just the worst brother in the world? The OP replied, he's actually never done anything like this before. We usually have a great relationship. He was the first person I wanted to tell when I started dating my girlfriend that I'm proposing to her now. Underneath that again by Pokey Ninja. Could he be jealous? It's all rather suspicious, isn't it? The moment you tell him you're going to propose, he suddenly is going to propose first without having planned it out and then taking your ring. It's like he purposefully wants to steal your thunder. There is something off in that guy's head. You're better off not being in contact with him. If you had a great relationship with him for your entire life, that's fine, fancy, wonderful. You need to make it clear to your mother and to him that he ruined your relationship. He took your ring that you were planning to propose to your girlfriend with. He proposed to his girlfriend with it after stealing it from you. He asked, you said no, he stole it from you. He proposed to his girlfriend. She posted pictures of the ring online. And then he's like, yeah, I'll just give it back to you later and you can propose to your girlfriend with it and she'll see the ring that was on my fiancé's finger. Ugh. I'm sorry, but your brother, again, is a trash hole. Our next story is by Electronic Classic 8008. Am I the a-hole for refusing to cater a vegan option at my own surprise party? So, a bit of background. I'm a 28 female and I've been a proud carnivore my whole life. Everyone close to me knows it. Well, last week was my birthday and my friends decided to throw me a surprise party. Super sweet, right? Here's where it gets sticky. I think this person's trying to use food words, super sweet and sticky. I found out about the surprise a few days in advance. My girlfriend, who's 27 female, accidentally let it slip. I snooped for more info and discovered that they decided to make it a fully vegan barbecue to accommodate one new friend who's a male 23 and is vegan. I was a little annoyed because I felt like my birthday was being co-opted for his dietary choices. I decided to take matters into my own hands and told my girlfriend I insisted on a meaty barbecue feast for the party. On the day, everyone was surprised, especially me pretending not to know, but the vegan friend called out the spread and was visibly upset. I told him it was my party and I wanted to eat what I love. A huge argument ensued. Now half my friends think I was an a-hole for not respecting the vegan choice for one day, and the other half are on my side saying it's my day and I should have what I want. Am I the a-hole? It's crazy how many people are so divided on the carnivore versus vegan front. This vegan friend of yours came and saw actual meat, and he was upset because he was around what he probably sees as like death instead of food. That being said, it is your party. If you don't want to eat vegan, you shouldn't have to eat vegan. If it was his birthday party and he wanted a vegan meal and all of his friends made him a carnivore meal, I think he'd be even more upset, and rightfully so. But because there's a stigma attached to eating meat, it's not okay for you to prepare carnivorous foods. It's not okay for you to have meats prepared for your birthday. I feel like it's a double standard. Underneath in the comments by Blanket Statement 5. Not the a-hole. It's fine for whoever's planning to make sure there's a vegan option, but whoever insisted on a fully vegan barbecue for someone who likes meat is an absolute moron. It sounds like this new friend is a militant vegan. Ugh. Yeah, that's what I think of militant vegans too. Like they can't have any meat around them, it just disturbs them so much. Okay, then don't come to a barbecue. You ruin the barbecue by doing that. And I know there's people out there who insist that vegan food, you can't even tell the difference. It tastes just like meat. I disagree. And I've tried lots of them because I was always curious about it. And there's people who make videos about it and they swear they can't tell the difference on YouTube, but I can tell the difference. I find the vegan options drier and less appetizing. Underneath this comment by AH Raccoon. I used to be a vegetarian and would never have done this. Even if it was my own surprise party, I'd want it a half-half so everyone can choose what they like. Make it a fully vegan when it's not even your party is selfish as F. Edit 1. I read in another comment that the barbecue wasn't fully vegan, that there were vegan options, and OP went out of her way to remove them for no valid reasons? Definitely in this case, you would be the a-hole. Edit 2. I understood this comment upside down. The barbecue was fully vegan, and the vegan options as bread and veggies were after her modifications. So, therefore, not the butthole. This person went through the comments and went back and forth about whether the OP was the a-hole. Some people were saying that the OP intentionally went through and made sure that everything had meat in it. That would make them the a-hole if they did that. Life's too short. Let people eat. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a playful day.